and see if that's someone that they want to, find out more about or whatever. Yeah. So conversation is good. Yeah. You should do interviews. I mean, there's enough for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, one day.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It's a goal.
We're recording, and so...
Oh, we are?
Oh, we're ready?
Welcome to Vinyl Grounds. Welcome to Vinyl Grounds. Welcome back to Vinyl Grounds. Welcome back to Vinyl Grounds. We're drinking coffee and talking music.
How long have you been singing?
Ugh.
You went to Los Angeles to be a singer, right?
Well, I went to a performing arts school, and so it's like from, I don't know, 8, 9 years old.
Where was this school?
Cincinnati.
Oh, you're from Ohio.
I've bounced around. I've been a lot of places. So I'm from Ohio, grew up singing, went to a performing arts school, thought I wanted to pursue music and be a singer. I was classically trained, but I knew I didn't want to go that route of like doing classical music, but I thought I wanted to be a singer.
Now, when you say classical music, does that mean like opera? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can really sing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I can sing that, but that's not necessarily what I like to sing.
Okay. You're a nice girl. You're in Ohio.
We think.
Maybe you were a nice girl. You're in Ohio at the Fame School, and then you move to the Belly of the Beast. You're 18 years old.
I was 18, moved to LA.
Okay.
To be a singer.
To be a singer.
Yes. And I very, very quickly realized that world is just not for me.
Yeah.
It was eye-opening, but I feel like at that age you were kind of invincible and think like, oh, nothing, I can do anything I want and all of that. But I feel like it quickly opened my eyes to like, okay, I'm not made for this world. But at least it didn't really, I was still able to keep my love and my passion for music, just in a different direction.
That's because you didn't sell your soul?
Yeah.
Because it's not for trade.
I was not Robert Johnson.
So how long were you in Los Angeles?
So from 2006 until I would say right when COVID happened, so 2019.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you got out of there just in time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, wow. Could you imagine being there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was there for a little while, but we moved to Arizona literally in the middle of shutdown.
Yes.
So we saw a little bit of the craziness, but got out and went to a state that literally acted like it wasn't a thing, which was kind of cool, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So when did you start your Vinyl Grounds?
So my Vinyl Grounds actually that whole concept started as in LA, as a brick and mortar. I wanted to open a coffee shop record store combination. And I was in the process. I did a business plan. I was visiting different venues and quickly realized that I am not going to get the funding I need. I didn't really have any assets. I didn't have anything to put as collateral when trying to get a business loan. So I was just kind of bummed about that, and then said, fuck it, I'm gonna go my own route. And I bought a trailer and was basically gutted the entire trailer.
Wow. To
turn into a mobile coffee record store. And then COVID. And I was just like, God, it's just nothing, it doesn't want this to happen.
Right.
And then when I moved here to Reno, I decided to just pick back up with just talking about music. So it was just in the last couple of years that I started getting on to social media and just talking about what I love and talking about music and sharing it. So
you know what I appreciate the most about your page is it's very authentic. You truly do love this music, but it's all types of music.
It's all over the place.
Which I love too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that a lot of times with social media it's a funny animal. So people want to put the most popular albums up or artists up because they want those clicks and hits.
Oh yeah.
And there's something kind of vacant about that because you're not really gaining anything.
And everybody already knows it.
And everybody already knows it.
You're not seeing or hearing anything new. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, my spectrum is so. I always say a lot of times when people find out that I'm into music and love music, they always ask like, oh, what's your favorite band or what's your favorite genre? And I feel like that's such a hard question because I very much am like, if it's good music, I like it. Whether it's blues, jazz, rock and roll, hip hop, like it doesn't matter. If it's good and it makes you feel something, it doesn't really have to, you don't have to be confined into one specific genre.
And it's so universal, right? I mean, you don't have to speak the same language to appreciate music.
Yeah, it's a feeling.
It's a feeling. It is a feeling. So what'd you bring here? You've got some of your favorite albums.
So, first off, and top of the deck, I just feel like Robert Johnson he's literally like the godfather of Delta blues. And so, and I have him tattooed on my leg. That's how much I love him.
Okay.
But he just, I feel like, is one of those people that like, there's this whole story behind him that he went to the crossroads and he sold his soul to the devil in order to be able to play. For someone to play as well and as original, and no one was playing like him in that time, for people to think that like you sold your soul to the devil in order to be played like that, I feel like it was super cool. So
do you think that's true?
Robert, hell yeah. I mean, I don't know. Literally, probably not. But I think it's such an awesome...
It's a great story.
It's such an awesome story.
Yeah, it's a great story. I struggle with that story only because, you know, I know that, especially in that community and culture,
the voodoo.
I just don't see it.
That was the culture, and it was like, so he had... I think the reason behind it was the story goes that he was just an average player. He was just an average guitar player. And he disappeared for a little while and then came back, and all of a sudden this new way of playing that no one had ever heard, no one was familiar with, and people were like, what did you do? Like, how did you get there? And so I think, and because of their culture and their beliefs and all of that, and like the voodoo, I think for them it was very real. Like, I think they legitimately thought like, hey, you went to the crossroads, and that's where Eric Clapton gets his song. Like, the story has kind of meant a lot and like gone even further than just his time. So.
And he's basically the godfather of rock and roll.
Oh, yes.
Right? Because everybody's been influenced by Robert Johnson.
Yes. I mean, it trickles down. Like, Robert Johnson, obviously, in the blues community, but then blues in general, like the Rolling Stones, like very, very influenced by blues. And I think that whether, you know, it's blues or even like jazz, like the newer music is, you can kind of trace it all the way back to blues. And like, if you're the king, the godfather of blues, it all kind of started with him then. So
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, but I mean,
let me check out that artwork there.
This is another way, you mentioned the artwork. Another way that I love, why I love records is I can literally go to a record shop and not even know who the person is, but like pick it out just based on the album cover.
I love that.
Which I think is really cool. So, Robert Johnson.
Right on.
Other blues people, we have to do John Lee Hooker.
Yep.
Because it's John Lee Hooker. Lightnin' Hopkins.
I've never heard of him.
No.
Oh. No.
So, similar vibe to John Lee Hooker.
May I see that?
Yeah.
It's like, what has he got for a guitar?
Lightnin' Hopkins.
Fun fact, my husband plays like a blues guy because he doesn't use effects.
Yes.
He plays what they call clean.
That. I love that.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
No, go watch Greg play next time, and you won't see any effects.
He's played for us a couple of times.
Okay, so there's no effects there.
I love it.
He has none. He plays clean. Everything that you hear is a tone from his hand.
I love it.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw my husband in there.
Yeah. I mean, so
I still like my husband. It's like 100 years, right? And
I feel like that's rare.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
I mean, I really admire and just adore my husband. So sorry to throw that in there.
I mean, no, I love that. We should get one of his on vinyl.
You know what? We do.
Yeah.
We do. He needs to get his stuff on vinyl.
I mean, I love it, but I do, even regardless of, I have an old soul, but like younger people are getting into records.
Yeah, good. Get off your phone.
So, yeah.
Get off your phone. Okay,
Tell him that. He's got to put it on vinyl.
So you were talking about this album on your Instagram.
Yes.
And that set me off for like an hour or so of other music.
Yeah. I mean, so kind of going back to like blues has influenced so many other genres and so many other bands, like ZZ Top. I mentioned the Rolling Stones. ZZ Top is huge into blues, like, and you can hear it. And one of their songs, it is on this album, is called Blue Jean Blues.
Yes.
My all-time favorite song of theirs. But they are very much influenced by the blues.
So what I appreciated about what you had put on Instagram was that you were talking about deep cuts.
Yeah.
And what the #1 song was on. You explained what a deep cut was, which I thought was really smart. And then you said, but this is the song I like. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, I love that
song. Well, even
song.
on the album, this album that it is on, it is on side B. It's not on side A, it's side B. So you have to like flip the record to even, and half the times if you don't have a lot of time, you might only ever listen to side 1, the A side. And so they have Blue Jean Blues on side 2. And I think that's a lot of songs that are like really great songs. You don't even find them on side A, side 1. But they did put Blue Jean Blues on their greatest hits album though.
Oh, that's smart. So Billy comes into the store.
I love that. I knew that. I freaked out when I saw his picture or poster and sign down in the vault.
Yes.
Like, oh.
Yeah. No, he's been coming to see Greg forever, before his beard was that long, when they were just young little whippersnappers in the 70s.
I love it.
He always comes in.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
We'll have to go. I've seen them a few times, but if they come to the Reno,
yes,
I have to go see them.
I've never seen ZZ Top, but I love ZZ Top.
They're so good. Yeah. So good live.
And you know what? He's always really nice to my staff.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because sometimes they don't, and they're jerks. And then Greg throws them out.
Good.
Yeah, well, that's nice about being an independent.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's love it.
None of your rock star bullshit.
Get out of here.
Get out.
How is he though?
Who?
Was he ever dramatic? Greg.
My husband?
Yeah.
To who?
No, like you're saying like that rock star mentality, like, okay, you're gonna come in and be
No, so Greg is an interesting character in that he's very, very intelligent, and I think that gets lost in the look and everything about my husband. But when he was on the road, he was going into pawn shops getting guitars and guns.
Cool.
So he always thought like that. He didn't imbibe at all. That just wasn't his thing. He doesn't like to be out of control, and he liked women. So and that's fine. Yeah. They're like my mother's age now. I don't care. But no, I'm just kidding. I like the Morning Sun Groupies. That's the name of the band, the Groupies, whatever. So he liked that, but he liked getting. He's a entrepreneur. He's a capitalist. So he liked finding those guitars and selling them.
That's awesome.
So did he have attitude? No, nothing that I've ever seen. I think that. No, I've been around enough of these artists that I can say, looking at how some of them behave, it's so ridiculous. But no, he's not like that. I mean, they are. They're just,
out of
it's
control
like,
sometimes.
come on.
Yeah.
Man, you haven't had a song hit since it was on heavy rotation on MTV, like in the 80s.
Yeah.
You need to stop.
Calm down.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Because my daughters have no idea who you are. Calm down. So does my husband, no, he doesn't. He's arrogant about other things, but not like that. Yeah. He's arrogant about like maybe his intelligence. He's very smart.
It's good.
Yeah, it is good. I wish more people knew that about him. And maybe they will now.
But I know,
a little
right?
secret
There
that
you
he
go.
has. Speaking of Greg Golden, this is his favorite album.
Cream. The fact that, again, going back to the artwork,
Yeah.
like, even if you didn't know who Cream was, like, you would want to buy this. And then Cream's literally like the original supergroup.
Yeah.
So
can I see that?
Yeah.
Now, did you watch the documentary on Ginger Baker?
No.
Oh my God, it's so great. He's something. Oh, God rest his soul. He passed. He's something else.
I will have to watch it.
Oh yeah, these are all so good. So good. Yeah, no, he's a rascal. Where's Jack Bruce now? Did he pass? Is he still with us? I know Clapton's still with us.
Clapton, yeah. I feel like I lose track of who's still with us. Like, either there are people who I think have left us and are apparently still alive.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, Ginger Baker is not.
No, okay.
Clapton is.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we go right into one of my favorite albums.
I love this album.
I love that album too.
This is one of those that you can literally just sit. Like, I guess it depends on your mood, but some albums are very much like, okay, put it on the background and like do other things. It's like your soundtrack.
This is a sit and
This is
listen.
like, you just gotta listen.
Yeah, because it's a journey. May I see that?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yvonne Elliman, the core.
Elliman, okay.
The core, yes. She played Mary in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I know some stuff. Yeah, I love We're All the Way.
This, I actually, in the process of putting these together to bring today, I realized I have 2 of these.
I have 2 of Aladdin Sane by
Yeah.
David Bowie.
I love that.
I know, it's a good album.
Yeah. I want to alphabetize.
That's a good dream.
At one point, yeah, it is a dream. At one point, I had them alphabetized, and then I moved, and then they got all messed up. So.
Yep. You know the easiest way to do that? Just genre. And just put them in there. And then maybe when you're in there, you can alphabetize that way. That's how I do it with my books.
So
Just
not
genre.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should do that. Mm-hmm. Because I think sometimes I am specifically looking for, like, I don't know I specifically want to listen to Eric Clapton, but I'm like, I kind of want to listen to blues, or I want to listen to jazz, or,
Yes.
so I think maybe that's a good idea.
I'm a
Thank
Virgo.
you.
I'm an organizer.
I'm a
Thank
Virgo.
you. You're a Virgo too? Sherry Lou's a Virgo. What is this, Virgo day?
We're Virgos.
Virgo season.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
September 7th.
Mine's September 3rd. Sherry's is the 8th.
Oh.
No, the 9th, I think she said. Didn't she say the 9th?
No.
Virgos.
Oh my God, this is so rad. Like all these Virgos today.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think
Happy
that's where-
birthday.
Thank you. Happy birthday to
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I get that though. I feel the you have to be organized. Like,
Yeah,
I like to,
I can't.
I can't with the clutter and the
No.
yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
That's why my books are all by genre.
Yeah.
And then if I feel like it, maybe I'll go in and alphabetize it. But because I've already set it there, I know where it's at.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Because my initial dream was to just alphabetize everything. Just lay it all out, A, B, C. But I like according to genre. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Because then I'm feeling like, I feel some jazz.
Yeah.
And then you're going through everything. This way you're like,
find
I'm going to go to my jazz section.
I like that. Thank you.
It's a Virgo thing.
I love it.
So what's this? Okay.
The Police. I just had to throw this in there.
That's
just
your
'cause-
first album.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I love their vibe, and I love that they are technically classified as a rock band, but they've got like reggae feel to them. They've got you can hear jazz in their sound. So I feel like they're very much one of those rock bands that's not just like your typical rock band. Yeah.
So when I got turned on to the Police, they were ska.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this album was a ska album.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that I feel like that's in ska and reggae are so similar that I think when you listen to the Police, it literally all comes out.
Yeah.
Like you can hear every genre in their music. So that's awesome.
That's a good album too. Aha! Can't Stand Losing You. Roxanne. Mm-hmm. All right, what else you got?
Okay, we have Nirvana Unplugged.
Yes.
People will argue with me on this, but I feel like this is their best album.
Really?
I think mainly I'm such a Nirvana fan, and not to say, I mean, it does obviously, this isn't like its own album, but the recording of it, I think, is so raw that I actually like it better than some of their actual albums. And then obviously this is one of his last performances, and I remember watching it when MTV was like actually airing them.
Yep, I did too.
And literally, I even just now got chills. Like, you watch the soul like come out of his eyeballs, and I think this is just an intense album. Knowing like now, like obviously in that time you didn't really know what was going to happen, but now knowing like what he went through and like everything he was struggling with, then listening or even watching this is crazy.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting when I first saw it because it was a different set than the other Unplugs.
Yeah.
And so they had the lilies and they had the candles, and I thought, oh, that just, it almost
looked like a funeral.
Yeah, it did look like a funeral.
Yeah.
So that was interesting that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's Pat Smear.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I might get shit for saying that this is my favorite album of theirs, but I do. I love it. I love its rawness. I love
that they covered Man Who Sold the World.
Yes. Is it on this album? Where Did You Sleep Last Night? They covered. And that I actually did a post on their version versus Lead Belly. And I think I talked about
I watched it.
Yeah. Their cover is incredible.
Yes,
like I love Lead Belly,
right?
And because I mean I love blues, and he's one of the greats. But I think in my video I talked about how Lead Belly is kind of, you can feel it, you hear the words, but it's pretty like one level the whole time. They literally every section just gets like deeper and deeper to where at the end he's literally like everything like, out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. So their cover is like he's begging her, where did you sleep? And Lead Belly's like, who cares less? Like, where'd you sleep last night?
Like almost as if he's used to it.
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes, so the interpretation is different. Yeah. I love that you did those covers. I thought it was really smart. Okay, I'm going to throw a cover at you.
Yeah.
Motley Crue's Helter Skelter.
Okay.
You didn't like that?
Okay, it's not that I don't like it. I like the original.
Okay, yeah, no, who doesn't love the Beatles?
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Beatles. But that was, I mean, for that time, for those guys to do that, I thought that was a good cover.
And I think when it comes to covers, like you have two different types of covers, right? You have the covers that are almost like a karaoke, like a good karaoke. Like I'm just gonna sing it exactly how I hear it. I'm not gonna change it, which is fine. But you better be real good.
Right. Right.
No, or you have the covers that make it their own, like change the tempo, change the style, whatever it is. So I feel like there are two different types of covers, and there's good and bad covers. So
have I got an album for you?
Yes.
The soundtrack to I Am Sam.
Oh.
With Sean Penn.
I love that movie.
Yeah. Remember?
I don't really remember the
it was all Beatle covers. And they all did a really great job. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why I don't remember. Now that you're saying it, it's like clicking, but I'm going to have to go listen.
That's really good. Yeah, the Beatles, if you can do... speaking of covers, like Sinead O'Connor did the cover of Bob Dylan's I Believe in You. So I've noticed that every artist that does a cover of Bob Dylan does a better job than Bob Dylan.
I agree. I love Bob Dylan.
I love Bob Dylan.
I saw Bob Dylan.
I like it better when somebody else sings your song.
Yeah. He's very good with words. He's a great songwriter.
He's a great songwriter.
And I do think that he has a very unique sound. But I can't help but agree that like some and maybe most of the people that cover, it's like, okay, I kind of like that one better.
Yeah. Well, I Believe in You is beautiful.
Yeah.
And God rest her soul.
I know.
All right, what's the last one you got there, Allie?
This is a curveball.
Okay. A Tribe Called Quest. Yes. I like those guys.
I love them.
Hey, there's the Beasties.
Oh, yeah. So look at the back of it.
My God.
There's so many people. A Tribe Called Quest is probably my favorite hip hop group of all time. And I do think that they're one, like kind of how we were talking about like Robert Johnson paving the way for blues and now even into other genres like rock and roll. Tribe Called Quest paved the way for hip hop groups.
Wow.
Like De La Soul, you have Jurassic 5, they all came after A Tribe Called Quest, and their vibe, Q-Tip's voice, I think I did a distinct voices on Q-Tip, because the minute he starts singing or rapping, you're like, oh, that's for sure.
That's
They have
Q-Tip.
their own vibe.
Okay, so Allie Becraft,
That's me.
Vinyl Grounds, on Vinyl Grounds, which is really cool. You have a segment, Distinct Voices.
Yep.
You do album reviews, you have album history, you do story time, and then you do a really cool piece on covers.
Yeah.
And you have really great taste in music. I think so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So how can people find you? Are you just on Insta?
Instagram and TikTok.
Okay, you're on
Vinyl
TikTok
Grounds,
too.
yeah, on both. Maybe YouTube in the future.
Okay.
For more. I tend to be a talker.
Yes.
So, and on Instagram and TikTok, it's people, attention span. You don't want to,
Yeah.
they'll swipe after so many seconds. So,
Right.
but I very much like to talk about music. So maybe in the future doing a YouTube, but for now, just Instagram and TikTok.
Well, much continued success to
Yeah.
you, my sister. I
Thanks.
think it's great. I
Thank
really
you.
do. I appreciate you taking
I
time
appreciate
today.
you. It was
Oh my
fun.
God, look at this, Virgo season.
Virgos.
All right.
I love it.
Thank you.